What's up? It's Joe Greco from Greco Arcana, and we're going to get right into it with the Devil. The Devil was my significator card for today. Not just the Devil, but our friend, the Reverse Devil, was my significator card for today, so we're going to talk about the Devil. It is a major arcana card. Now, in the tradition that I was brought up through, major arcana cards are these long notes that take place throughout the course of your life. They're tied into the development of your soul and how your spirit is interacting with both your soul and the earth. So these are cards that are constantly taking place, and their arcs are like their plot lines are encompass across your whole life, but at certain times you're going to draw them, and that's going to reflect that what's happening in your life is advancing kind of that plot line. So the Devil is a card, and this is a card that when it gets drawn, there's apprehension, there's the oohs and ahs at the table, but this is really a story of lies. It's a story of untruths. When a lot of people read this card, what they're reading is like addiction, they're reading bondage, and those two things to me are lies. So the baseline that I read this card at is untruths, lies, because addiction is a lie. It's convincing the body or the mind that it needs something to survive that it actually doesn't, right? And bondage is kind of the same way. It's convincing yourself that you need to be attached to something when in effect you don't. If that chain disappears, you don't just perish or melt away. So when I see this card come up, my first thought is lies. When I see this card come up reversed, as it did for me today, I tend to read reverses, especially when they're going to have to do with me. So this was my significator card for the day. This is my energy for the day. And when a major arcana pops up and it pops up reversed as my significator, I tend to think of it as I'm in denial about that energy. Okay. Or I'm leaning on it and feeding on it, even though I know it's wrong. But so that's probably another form of denial, right? I wouldn't just like outright do something that I didn't think was right, purposely. So this is the kind of energy that I'm watching out for today. It's an energy of leaning on lies, leaning on untruths, maybe passing blame around, feeling stuck in a situation, and really believing, not just feeling stuck, right? But believing that I'm stuck and maybe not doing the best things to unstick myself or to deal with that situation. So this is one of those cards when it comes up as a significator for me, or if it comes up in a reading for somebody else that you want to read a little more into, right? If I was doing a reading for somebody, we're going to have a conversation at this point, okay? Because this is a strong energy to have. Now, let's just go one step. Let's peel the onion one layer deeper. The Devil card is often associated with Mars, okay? It is Capricorn. Okay, never mind that thought. I was going to say that today is Tuesday, which is a day that for someone like me, I noticed a lot of Mars power in the energy today, but the reason that was stuck in my head is because my situation card for today was the Tower. So yeah, can you imagine this was my significator? This was my energy for the day, and my situation is the Tower. And the universal advice, the advice from the all to me was the Moon. I know. I was like, well, all right, hello Tuesday. Like, let's get into it. So yeah, that's the Devil card. It forces you to ask yourself questions. So I'm going to leave this video with that question for you. Is right now, whether it's your significator or not, that Devil card energy is that storyline plot, that arc is taking place in your life one way or not. Maybe it's not your main significating energy for today, but it's there. And it's something that, are you going to address it? And if you're into like Renaissance astrology and if you're observant on a Tuesday, that's Mars energy with Capricorn energy, you know, and a healthy serving of denial on top of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Greco Arcana. Take care.